Hello my dear Prep 3 students, Mr. Hamada Khairi greets you. How are you? I hope you are fine. Today we are going to take Unit 18 from the new Hello curriculum. See life. Now with the second part, grammar. Our rule today is 0, first, second, and third conditional. Number 1, 0 conditional. It expresses scientific facts. We form it with if plus present simple, then present simple. For example, if you heat water, it turns into water vapor. If you put ice in the sun, it melts. It expresses scientific facts. Number 2, the first conditional. The first conditional, it expresses the possibility in the future and the present. If plus present simple, then subject plus will plus the infinitive. For example, if we go to the sports club tomorrow, we will phone you. When if comes in the middle, we use before if subject plus will plus the infinitive, then after if present simple. For example, Manar will get better if she takes her medicine. We use can instead of will to express the ability, and may to express the probability. If the weather is good today, we may go to the beach. If the weather is good, we may go to the beach. Express probability. If I have a car, I can go to work more easily. If I have a car, I can go to work more easy. It expresses ability. The second conditional. We form the second conditional to talk about situations that are either impossible or might not happen in the present. If plus past simple, then subject plus would plus the infinitive. For example, if I was a small child, or if I were, we can use were in the second conditional. If I was a small child, I would love that toy. When if comes in the middle, we use subject plus would plus the infinitive, then if plus past simple. For example, I would go to Cambridge if I went to England. We can use might instead of would to talk about general possibility. Might equals would perhaps. If I had a lot of time, I might go to the cinema. I might go to the cinema. Here, I would perhaps go to the cinema. Could equals would be able to. If Sammy had much money, he could help the poor. He would be able to help the poor. We can use where after if with all the nouns and pronouns. If I were a pilot, I would fly a plane. The third conditional, to talk about events in the past that didn't or might not have happened. If plus past perfect, then subject plus would have plus the past participle. For example, if my uncle had lived in England, he would have spoken English very well. If I hadn't trained yesterday, we might have gone to the beach. Subject, when if comes in the middle, we use subject plus would have plus past participle, then if, then past perfect. For example, Sally might have come to the party if I had invited her. Now with some rewrite tips. Number 1, we use the second conditional when so or because sentences are present. We use the second conditional with the present, and we make the affirmative negative and the negative affirmative. I don't have enough money, so I can't buy this smartphone. Use if. We use the sentence after so, after if. before so, after if. But we will make the negative affirmative and the affirmative negative. I don't have, it will be if I had enough money, I would buy or I could buy this smartphone. I would or I could. Number 2, we use the second conditional when one of so or because sentence is present and the other is past. We make the affirmative negative and the negative affirmative. Sarah didn't go to school because she is ill. Use if. If Sarah wasn't ill, she would go to school. Number 3, we use the third conditional when so or because sentence are past and we make the affirmative negative and the negative affirmative. We use the third conditional with the two sentences are past in the past simple. She didn't go to school because she was ill. If Sarah hadn't been ill, she would have gone to school. Now let's practice. Choose the correct answer from A, B, C, or D. Number 1, if I hadn't taken my special camera, I space any photos. I wouldn't have taken, I would have taken, I can't have taken, I will have taken. We use would or wouldn't have taken when the sentence after if past perfect, hadn't taken past perfect. So if I hadn't taken my special camera, I wouldn't have taken or I would have taken. If I hadn't taken my camera, I wouldn't have taken. Number 2, if Hadi worked in a bakery, he bakes fresh bread every day. Would have had, would have, will have, could have had. Would have. If Hadi worked, past simple, so we use would plus the infinitive. If I see him, I space ask him, I space ask him to help me with my homework. I might have, would have, will. If I see present, so we will use will. If you space to go diving, you could go snorkeling. If you don't want, didn't want, hadn't wanted, haven't wanted. You could go, could plus the infinitive, so we use past simple. Past simple is didn't want. If I space you, I would go diving in the Red Sea. If I space you, I would go, we will use the past can, were, am, had been. The past simple were. If I were you, I would. If they went to Alexandria in May, it space be very warm. It won't, might not, can't, may not. If they went to past simple, so we will use might not. If we go to the sports club tomorrow, we space for new. If we go present, so we will use would, will, could, wouldn't. We will use will. Number 8, if I space a small child, I would love that toy. If I am, I is, I were, I has. I would love, would plus the infinitive, we use past simple, the past simple were, if I were a small child. If I space to England, I would go to Cambridge. If I had gone, go, went, I'm going. Would go, would infinitive, would infinitive. So we use the past simple, went. If my uncle had lived in England, he space spoken very good English. If my uncle had lived in England, he space spoken very good English. Had lived past perfect. So we use will, couldn't, would have, couldn't have. We use would or could have plus the past participle. So here, if my uncle had lived in England, he would have spoken. He would have spoken very good English. Rewrite. Number 1, you should help your mother with the housework. Use if. If I were you, you should help here an advice. So we use if I were you, I would. If I were you, I would help my mother with the housework. Ayman was careless, so he failed his exams. Use if. Here past simple, so we will use the third conditional. If Ayman hadn't been careless, he wouldn't have failed his exams. Hala isn't very good at English, so she can't get a job in London. present. The two sentences are present, so we will use the second conditional. If Hala was very good at English, she could get a job in London. If Jana hadn't been busy yesterday, she would have come to the party. You saw. Jana was busy yesterday, so she didn't come to the party. We use sentence number 4 as the third conditional, hadn't been and would have come. So we will use so, we will convert the sentence to the past simple. If we use a telescope tonight, we will see a planet. Unless we use a telescope tonight, we won't see a planet. If they went to London, they could practice speaking English. You saw. They don't go to London, so they can't practice speaking English. If the weather is good today, we can go swimming. Use unless. Unless the weather is good today, we can't go swimming. If Hassan was ill, he couldn't take the science test. Use because. Hassan can take the science test because he isn't ill. Now with some language function. Number 1, showing relief. Showing relief. Few. I say few. When something bad is about to happen and it didn't happen, so you can say few. Or what a relief. Thank goodness for that. Showing excitement. When you are excited, you say great, I can't wait, or I am looking forward to that. Write what you would say in the following situations. Number 1, there is news that Muhammad Salah is visiting your school. Great, I can't wait. You show excitement here. You hear that a ship sank in the sea, but the police saved the passengers. You will say what? You will show the relief. You will say thank goodness for that. You hear that your friend got better after the accident he had. What a relief. You show the relief. What a relief. Your parents say that they are taking you to the cinema tomorrow. You are very excited. Great, I can't wait. A friend tells you that you have won a prize. You are very surprised. I am looking forward to that. To show the surprise, I am looking forward to that. Now we are finished. See you soon. Goodbye.